Hi, everyone.
Welcome back to the Chomper Show.
Yeah.
I mean,
Oh, they're live already?
Yeah. I mean,
we just.
Yeah,
Hey,
we
we can
just
hear you through the mic.
we
We
just
literally just went live.
literally just went live, so you're fine. You'll.
Alright, I gotta get on my computer.
All right.
did you?
I tend to take a long time with the recaps anyway, so that's your window here. All right,
Hi,
so
everyone.
hi everyone.
Let's talk.
Yeah, welcome back. This is a small milestone for us, 10th episode. We haven't wanted to kill each other yet, so we're doing pretty well. Last week, the party of adventurers you see here, they kicked in the door of the Quasit who was occupying the cathedral inside the Catacombs of Wrath. As they did so, this Quasit demonic creature cut her wrist and let some blood drip into the pool in front of her, which summoned, or rather created, a sin spawn, a creature that they fought previously. This demon also summoned a couple of other creatures to join the fight, including sort of a larger blobby type creature that had some claw attacks that it hit Dino with, as well as a viper that left quite a few bite marks on Kat's legs, as it pretty much exclusively attacked her before being thrown against the wall by Babu and killed. The battle took quite a while, as this demon had the oh-so-fun mechanics such as damage resistance and a high AC and being very tiny and difficult to pin down. But eventually, this demon, through all of her declarations that she would have her army given to her from Lamashtu and have her revenge and her freedom from being inside of the catacombs after 10,000 years, she essentially suffered a death by 1,000 cuts, as all of you sort of just piled on and chipped away at her until eventually Dino cleaved her in two with his scimitar on a critical hit.
Yes.
After the fight was over, Urzulin elected to go upstairs and touch the triangular pool that had a lava-like substance in it that is still unidentified. Both the substance.
See, you think lava-like, and my brain's like, oh, then it's not lava. But apparently it's lava because it hurts.
What is the properties of lava? As in, don't touch it, and you touched it, and the sort of the shock of it all knocked her unconscious. Then she was out for probably a few minutes, and there was a lengthy and hilarious inner monologue from Dino about what to do, and he decided that he was going to carry Urzulin back downstairs while still unconscious and tell her to pick the lock on a treasure chest that Kat had found. Eventually, Dino expended his last spell slot to heal Urzulin. There was a bit of an argument over the resulting finds, including, mostly the coins. The scroll of obscuring mist that was sitting on top of the pile of coins has yet to be claimed by anyone. However, in the other room, the other treasure room, Kat found a bunch of art objects. She claimed items like a silver chess set and a ivory set of dice, among other things. And there are a couple of items that are still in there that have not been claimed. Those items are the glass decanter with some copper inlaid into it, as well as, where is it in my notes? It is the golden lion statue.
Can we even carry those?
Well, you don't know how much they weigh, so you could certainly try. After all the shenanigans, which also included Cade trying to run around the room and get things back under control, you all, or some of you, healed yourselves through whatever means you have. Others did not need to heal themselves as they weren't touched in the battle. But you find yourselves still inside the catacombs, and most of you are tapped out of spells, but you did just level up. So you're all now level 3. And with that, what would you like to do?
Argue some more. No, I'm kidding.
Have we explored most of, if not all of the place yet?
I don't think so.
No, you guys overall haven't explored all that much. I have to refresh my Roll20 because it is acting up right now. So just bear with me.
Probably because I joined. I've noticed that when people join, the server kind of gets shitty. Like, as people add on, if that makes sense.
Yeah, I don't really know what it was. I had all the character sheets open before we started playing, and they were all working. And then all of a sudden, when I opened up the window that I had cat sheet in, it wasn't working. It was just coming up blank. So
That's the issues I was having the other week, where my sheet would just show up and open into nothingness.
yeah. But anyway, yeah, go ahead and decide what you want to do. I'm not. Don't let me stop you.
So did Kat tell us that there's other stuff in that room? Like, do we know it exists, or did Kat just like pick it up and?
I don't think she did.
Probably not.
Yeah, I don't remember her saying that she did mention it to everybody. So
No, she didn't.
yeah.
The cat's an asshole.
Alright.
My connection to the server has been interrupted.
Yeah, I can't even load in.
It do be like that sometimes.
So I have a glass of water over there specifically for my cat, and he sticks his hand in
Alright,
it. and
guys, we got two
Yeah.
options. We can either explore the rest of this place, or we can leave, take the goblins, and get some sweet, sweet money.
The fuck did you just say?
We have two options. We can either explore the rest of this, whatever the hell it is, or we can do what we originally came to do and collect the goblins and sell them for some sweet, sweet cash money.
Kate just
Didn't
kind
say
of.
that at first.
I'm looking back and forth at the two of them arguing, like, I'm kind of raising my hand slowly, going, you know what, I can't even carry myself right now.
I think we should get you a chest and put all your stuff inside the chest, and then one with a lock. That way you can lock it, and that way all your stuff will be safe, and you can leave it at the fucking inn.
I'm not used to having a place to leave stuff, okay? I learned my lesson.
Can I carry the? How big was that chest that we got the coins out of?
Well, let's see. Now, I know I'm not counting coin weight on your person, but
Oh, we're
unless-
not now?
no, I unchecked all on everybody's sheets. However, unless you take the coins out of the chest, I will be counting that weight.
I think we took all the coins out and split it amongst ourselves.
Yee.
Okay, so
I got
yeah.
a little extra.
So the chest itself on its own, I would say, weighs 20 pounds.
I think I can lift that. Lift off ground 230. Drag or push. What is carry? Oh, if I want to carry it back, would I just add that weight onto me until we get back?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so now I'd be at 53 pounds, so I wouldn't even be at a medium load.
Is somebody gonna meet the delivery person in the lobby?
Man, roll 20.
I
Come
can't
on.
really
Be here
talk
in a minute.
in chat or to her boyfriend because I just heard salami and I was like, what?
That means when they call and say they'll be here in a minute, means they're either down the block or walking up to the lobby.
Thai food isn't salami.
Oh, lobby, not salami. Okay.
Yeah, wait, what?
I'm just hungry.
Hungry.
My
So-
salami will be ready in 6 minutes.
Alright, cool. Now I can open character sheets again.
Ew.
I could see the map now.
Howdy.
Okay.
Can I go to where? I guess I didn't expect this. Is this where the shit is? The statue?
It's yeah, it's in that room.
Alright, can I test the weight of everything?
Sure. So the only two things in there, like I said, are a decanter and the golden statue of a lion. Neither of them are particularly huge items. You estimate the statue weighs probably 8 pounds and the decanter like 2.
Okay, what you're gonna see Erizlin do is pick these two items up, walk across the room to where the chest is, in here, put the items in the chest, close the chest, pick the chest up, and walk the fuck out of here.
Okay.
That's exactly what I just did. And the chest is for Cade, and the 2 things are for me to sell.
Okay.
Cade's just kind of look a little dumbfounded and when going, wait, you're bringing that back for me?
As you hear through the door, yes!
Well, I guess
Cade
we're
sniffles a bit.
we're going to leave the rest of this dungeon for another day.
You
I can
also
agree,
hear
I'm
another
about done
yes.
this place.
Because
Alright, let's
I'm
head
not
out.
even rolling perception. I'm just by the door. Four more minutes.
All right, so you all exit the cathedral, leaving behind. Oh, who took the scroll, by the way?
I would like to, if no one else does.
Or if it wasn't taken, it's still in the chest.
Yeah,
and I just didn't know.
it would still be in the chest. So
If you want it, go for it.
It's still in the chest at this point. I didn't pay any attention to it. I just put the shiny worth money objects in the chest, and I'm carrying it.
So we're gonna just find a scroll at the bottom of the chest that when we get back is what I'm hearing out of character, and I think that's gonna be a fantastic development. So I'm down for that.
yeah, those like
That was metagaming. My bad.
so Ursulin would have already known that the scroll was in the chest because she opened it, and
Does not care. Did not read it.
Kat would know about it because she was the one who read it. Yeah, if that's as far as it went,
Wait,
then
Wait, I read the scroll?
yeah, you were the one who identified it.
Then I took it in my possession, sorry.
Okay, so yeah,
Okay, then.
did I actually add that to your sheet? I don't think I
Yeah,
did.
if I picked it up and read it, that means I probably kept it.
Okay, so I will do that. I will add that to your sheet then.
Yes, you carry that weight. Become encumbered like our dear fellow Cade.
Join me in death.
All right.
Slow, painful trudgery and death.
Slow, painful movement. Alright, if you're gonna move us back, I gotta go downstairs and turn the oven off because it's got like 2 minutes left. I might as well turn off the oven.
So as you exit the cathedral, are you simply just going back the way you came?
Yes. I assume that's the quickest way, so
Yeah.
that's the way I'm going.
All right. Moving you guys back to the glassworks. You work your way back through the entryway to the catacombs, as well as the connecting tunnel, you find yourselves back in the basement of the glassworks.
Time to collect those goblins.
Alright, so Dino is going to forge ahead and go up the stairs. He ends up being the first one out. With Chopper following close behind.
Oh, I lost the map. I don't know where we are. Oh, there we are.
Somewhere in the secret tunnel.
Secret tunnel. No, you guys are back in the glassworks. So, if everyone's following Dino, then I'm going to move you back to the doorway that leads down to the
Yeah, I
basement.
think we're all following Dino because Dino's scimitar has the light. So without Dino, we can't see except for Cade.
Yeah. Well, by the time you get back to the basement, you can see again just fine.
Can't I see in front of Dino? As long as he's holding the scimitar like behind me, I could just see in front of me with like dim light because I have low light.
Yeah. You'd have extra vision on top of your low light. Okay, so you come back upstairs to the main floor of the glassworks. Dino immediately goes into the main glassworking room to assess the remains of the goblins and what I assume is collecting them.
Yep.
So you collect a total of 7 goblin corpses.
A.
Alright, how much do all of them weigh? Or one goblin weighs?
Let's find out. Let's see what they prescribe here for goblin weight. Here we go. Each one weighs about 30 pounds.
There's 7 of them.
Well, actually 6 of them, because one got thrown into the furnace and the other one fled, and you guys haven't found it. So 6 of them.
Wait, fled? I thought
So
we killed them
wait,
all.
does that mean that we have 6 and then like one thing of goblin ashes?
No, the last one fled.
No, because you said that there were 7, one fled, and one was thrown into the furnace, right?
Well,
So
no,
if one was thrown into the furnace,
there were 8 when you fought them with Pseudo.
Alright.
The last one fled after all the others were killed, and one of them was dropped into the furnace
so
by
there's 6 of them.
Dino's summoned eagle. So there are 6 corpses.
I
in
get
there.
what you're saying, Kat.
Thank
You're
you.
saying that instead of a goblin body, there's a set of goblin ashes because they got burnt in the furnace,
Right.
and saying, can we collect those?
Yeah,
Yeah.
there's a fine powder buried in the furnace somewhere.
Goblin dust. TM.
Incinerated goblin dust.
A goblin and turn it into a goblin diamond.
That can only resurrect
so
a goblin.
fucked up. That would be kind of awesome and hysterical. Every single time you got pissed off and killed the goblin. All right, you're back, buddy.
Alright, apparently if I
Take
get
two.
them all
I'm
up, I
down
get a
for
heavy
that.
load,
Just
which
like,
is really odd and
like Cat would
annoying,
be so down for collecting goblin corpses, burning them to a crisp,
I'm
and
gonna
then
ask
making
one of my
goblin
party members
and
to
then
pick one of
making
them up.
goblin
I'll take the
diamonds
rest.
to turn
Oh
into
my
a
God, yes.
necklace.
I would see Kat doing that.
Okay, so Dino has decided to ask for a little bit of assistance with carrying these corpses. Oh fuck! I forgot to mute.
Cade immediately says
Facebook.
yes, and then realizes that they're absolutely useless in this endeavor.
Are we back at the end? I'm sorry, I was having my mom help me take the lawn out.
No, you guys are collecting the goblin corpses from the glassworks. Dino is asking
Okay.
for some assistance
goblin corpse.
in carrying them.
Can I put a goblin corpse in the chest I'm carrying?
You
Will it fit?
you certainly can.
I will.
I want one. That sounds.
Shut-
Okay, so one of the corpses gets dumped into the chest that Ursulin's carrying. That leaves 5 of them.
I'm picking up the rest.
Yeah, I suppose either you pick up the rest or you maybe throw one on Chopper and you pick up the other 4. Maybe I don't know, but at any rate, you guys collect the goblin corpses and you make your way out of the glassworks. It is now nighttime. So where are you heading?
The tavern? Wait,
Well, no, we would have to Dave first.
I was gonna say, wait, we need to get rid of the corpses first, then the tavern.
Okay, tell me when we're at Dave's.
Well, I assume you guys are just gonna head straight there.
Okay, so while
Yep.
we're at Dave's, I plop the chest on his counter, open it, take a dead goblin corpse body out, and throw it on the floor and close my chest and walk out. Actually, I don't walk out. I go, there you go. Delivery.
Actually, no. This was the map that I was using for the stables, but I didn't set it up, so I'll just keep you guys on the main standpoint map. Roll20's being a little futzy tonight, so don't want to anger it even further.
Don't fight Roll20.
Yeah, exactly. So you guys head on over to the stables. Like I said, it's night, but one of you, whoever wants to, knocks on the door. Davrin does answer, and he sees Dino, and he sees Dino carrying a bunch of goblins, and he sort of like quickly ushers you all inside.
It's like a fucking black market for goblin bodies.
Cade just is giggling and going, "What? No one, don't want anyone seeing us? I thought you liked these things."
I'm just gonna step inside.
He looks at Cade and says, "Well, some people still think I'm a bit too obsessive over it. Just the fewer prying eyes, the better."
Cade immediately, I guess, vibes with that and like completely understands and goes, "That makes sense," and says, "I will be more discreet next time. I'm sorry," and stops being so cheeky.
Next time we'll put him in a satchel. But look, I was discreet with this one. I open up.
Yeah,
the chest
you
and pull it
actually
out.
the only one who was discreet. You're like, "All right," boom, out of the chest. Here's a body.
Dave was discreet about it, so I was like, "I'm gonna put it in the chest."
He looks at you and says, "Oh, that's clever. I like that."
I am the only one not seen carrying a dead body into your shop. Congrats on me.
What? They should be known why we're here, to murder goblins, and they should know that we're doing our job well.
Well,
He said, "Oh, echo."
I don't think it's me.
He looks at sort of the lot of everything, and he says, "So, what part of this is for me, and what are you keeping for yourselves? That'll determine how much I pay you."
Cade looks at back and forth between everyone and kind of just looks like we were gonna keep some of it. Confused.
Davrin says, "Well,
I'm looking at
I don't
Dino.
know. I don't know what exactly you're bringing me here.
That's fair. I just
They're
don't want to
bona
speak for
fide
everyone
black
else.
Goblins, and I think 5 gold pieces per body. Do I have to roll diplomacy?
You can, sure.
What did he pay us last time? I can't remember.
First roll of the night."
Oh, that's pretty good. Considering I don't have... Oh, I do have a for that. Never mind.
He looks a little confused by your sort of offer, and he says, "Well, I would pay that just for each set of ears."
I don't
Cade
want to
looks
run
over at
you dry.
Rosalind.
We'll probably be supplying you with a lot more goblins from now on. Like every time we go out, we'll be coming back. So I don't want to run you dry on your bank.
Oh,
Cade looks over
he says that
and just like grabs their nose and shakes her head.
he says that's not an issue. I get enough travelers through here looking to rent and buy horses that bankroll isn't much of a problem.
Oh, okay. Then whatever you're willing to offer, I don't care.
So he says all right, well, have you already taken equipment and anything from them, or is that still on there as well?
Dino has. I think. Did you?
I think Dino just looted money from them.
Oh, okay. Then I'll say no. We just pickpocketed them.
He says, yeah,
Is
that's.
it called pickpocketing if you loot a dead body, or is it just called looting?
It's looting.
I'm asking this in character.
It is looting.
He says, well, that's a interesting philosophical question that I've never thought about before.
Actually, if they're dead, isn't it grave robbing?
Well,
no,
no,
that's only if you
Unless they've been
have
dead
to
for at
be.
least 50 years, then it's
This
just
is like
archaeology.
a full-blown
They'd have to
conversation
be-
our characters are having in front of Dave.
Like,
Damn
no,
right.
legitimate. So out of character, legitimately, that's actually a debate. Apparently, it's 50 years before you cross the line from grave robbing to archaeology.
Oh.
Interesting.
Your other world
Davrin
knowledge in?
looks absolutely confused by all of this. He just says, well, I guess it's looting, but it doesn't really matter much to me. These goblins are dead, and that makes me happy.
Cade's just giving everyone like this like fucked up face of like, why are we doing this debate? Why wouldn't, and then starts going, why wouldn't we have had this debate when we decided if we were going to carry bodies through the streets of Sandpoint? I feel like
Because
this
we
is a
sell the
little
bodies
late.
anyway.
We should just sell them and pretend none of this happened.
I'm
And
just
Cade
gonna
goes
point
to
out,
slowly
Cade,
shuffle towards the door because Cade
And
is fat and slow.
grab him by the nape of the neck, and I'm gonna pick you up and say, I'm just gonna point out that those, and I point you towards the dead goblins, are not humans. Therefore, this philosophical debate does not apply, and then let you go.
That's
Cade
racist.
kind of. Cade just. You can see there's a small moment of Cade's like eyes like darkening, but like having a spark go through them at the thought of that, and saying nothing, and then just going back to normal face, and then going, oh, okay, and then slowly walking towards the door as their umbered and cumbered ass and trying to go to the inn.
Leave it to Rob, who was playing a goblin chief in my one-shots, to call that racist.
No, I love that.
Spicy chief.
Spicy chief, that's
Spicy
right.
chief.
So yeah, Davrin looks at all the corpses once more to sort of like assess what he's going to pay you. He says, all right, so 30 gold just for the ears, because it's 6 sets. The rest of their bodies, I mean, I could make some trophies out of the teeth, out of some of the other parts here, plus their equipment.
You could also make a finger necklace.
So, question: what do you do with the body parts that you don't have anything to do with? Do you just bury them, or do you burn them?
Make glue.
No, you can only do that with the bones. You still got flesh left.
It finds its way to its final destination. Let's just leave it there.
That's when you see
I have a
Cade also
business
look shifty
proposal
and
for you.
go,
That's DM for I don't fucking know.
no, there's shady people that Cade associates with that would know.
Yeah, you're adventuring with someone who's friends with the drug lord. And now all of you have become friends with that drug lord.
He's a good guy.
Yeah, he's great.
That drug lord to give me drugs so I
That
can
kind
make
of
bullets
pushed it
that
though.
he could put. Oh, that's right. I have to have a conversation with Dribble again.
Okay, yeah, sorry, not to
Yeah.
derail. So, Kat.
But anyway,
No.
so Kate's like, so I have a proposition for you with those extra parts.
Davrin sort of leans forward and he says, "I'm listening."
So you can. So if you so if you actually cremate the rest of the parts, take the ashes. You can actually compress the ashes into synthetic diamonds, and you could probably get magical help with this, and sell them to armorers, rulers, etc. for a markup, so you make a decent profit off of it.
So you're suggesting that you're suggesting that I take these remains and essentially have them made into fake gems and diamonds to then sell to jewelers.
Yes.
That's
It's
just what
real
Cat
gems.
does.
It's just a different way of making them. And it's still a diamond. It still has all the properties of diamond. You just didn't mine it. You created it.
He says, I'll think about that. Need to figure out the right people to talk to do something like that. But it's a good idea. I like it. Now for your payment. Figure with all the trophies and things I can make without destroying the remains. About 100 gold for all of this. That sound fair?
To it, but only if you ever do. But only on the agreement that if you ever do take up my suggestion, I want a necklace made from those diamonds.
You just see Kate in the corner shoveling a ration in their face. And goes, yep, 100 gold, sounds good. That's good. We can go now.
Yes, I need to go to, Cade, where can I sell these? And I run off to her after I take the 20 gold from the share. Actually, I'll grab 40 since Kate is already by the door and I don't feel like having her walk back and then walk back slowly.
Thank you. Cade literally sees you doing this and goes, I know what's happening. That's my cut. Don't yell at Ursuline. It's good, it's good, it's good. And then I get really excited. I'm like, I don't have to walk back. I don't have to walk back. That's another 5 minutes.
Davrin looks at Kat and says, yeah, I know where to find you to deliver that necklace if I can make it happen.
Oh, you'll make it happen. And Kat takes her 20 gold and walks off.
Davrin looks completely perplexed once more. As you go to
They're
leave.
a weird group, I know.
So, Rusty Dragon or something else?
Rusty Dragon.
Back to the Rusty Dragon.
All right.
Rusty Dragon.
Is Kate gonna show me where to sell those things?
Yes. I'm going to be munching on a ration all the way to the Rusty Dragon, but I'm going to tell you and point you in the right direction.
Oh, yes. So that, let me look that up here in the notes. The old notes. So Cade would know that the place where Dream took his new weighted spear to get enchanted might be a decent option. Just
Speaking of which,
yeah, he said it's going to be a few days on that, but he also he didn't give you a sort of a price point because he kind of just assumed that you would just bring him whatever you find. But yeah, Cade would know that the Feathered Serpent deals in sort of strange relics and statues and all kinds of items with a very eclectic selection. And yeah, so Cade thinks that the proprietor there, Vorvashali, would be interested in those statues.
if anyone's going over there, you
and
can
the
come with
decanter.
me. I got a little bond with that guy over there.
Okay.
That was so like tentative.
I was thinking, would Erzlin understand what he means by bond, as in like You know what? I want to roll. Can I? Because if I roll high enough, then I'll understand what he means. But if I don't, then I'm gonna twist it. Because
He's in a gay relationship.
Yeah, that's what the other thing would be. What would I roll? Just intelligence or?
Wisdom.
Kat is definitely going to follow Jareem. She's
Do
down
I
for
understand
some.
his meaning of the word bond?
Not fully, but it doesn't seem like anything. Like, it doesn't seem like anything that you should be concerned about.
Okay.
You assume so anyway.
So Cade is completely oblivious to everyone else, like branching off, and is just still slowly trudging to the end, being like, "I'm looking for dinner and a place to put my stuff."
Oh, I still have the chest. I'm using it to carry the statues and stuff.
Yes, but as far as I know, I was leading everyone, and then you broke off from me because I pointed you off in that
Yes.
direction. And
You
I've
still
been
have the
munching on a
chest.
ration, so.
What are the statues again?
So the one that is in the chest is a golden statue of a lion. Wait, I opened the wrong sheet because I know the rest of it is in Cat's possession. The only other thing resembling a statue would be there's like a silver egg that had a dragon figurine like wrapped around it.
Is that also the chest?
Cat has that. The only other item in the chest is it's a glass decanter that has like a copper inlay.
It seems very, if that breaks.
Could I see the decanter really quick?
Oh.
Are you going to identify it?
Wait, it's in the chest, so yeah, you just open the chest and you can look at it.
Okay, I'll do it.
As I'm walking, he just steps in front of me, starts walking backwards, and opens it and closes it. I'm like, what the fuck?
And what am I?
Well, you guys are in the bar, right?
Well, I was walking to where Cade pointed me to. Because before I entered the bar, I asked her where to go.
Oh, well, again, as a reminder, it's like late at night right now.
Oh, then I'm still gonna walk there.
Still gonna walk there. Okay, so
From Riddle Point.
Riddleport, yeah, it's true. Riddleport kind of never closes. So the two of you start heading over to the Feathered Serpent, hoping that it's open. Jareem opens the chest and pulls out the decanter. What do you want to do with it, Jareem?
I want to see if I know what it does.
Okay.
Wait, what is a decanter? 'Cause isn't that just like a thing that holds liquid?
Yeah. It's like like a container that holds typically alcohol. And it's usually like oddly shaped.
If there's anything fucking magical about it.
Okay, so
go to the Feathered Serpent.
So you cast Detect Magic on the.
Not until I get that back.
Detect Magic, you said?
Yeah, Detect Magic on the decanter. You're kind of like studying it, and you're looking at it, and it looks nice, but it's not magical.
I'm gonna lift up the lion statue and be like, "You want to try this?" in a mocking tone.
Sure.
Okay, so you look at the lion statue, which is also not magical, but again, pretty well made.
Okay, I'm gonna throw the decanter up in the air, and I'm gonna say, "Catch."
Oh, you.
Catch to the person who's holding a treasure chest that is empty.
I will drop the treasure chest and try and catch it.
Okay.
Hold up, I'm with them. So I'm going to try to catch that. Yeah.
So I'm also, this is me trying to see if I'm aware that everyone's left me.
I'm sorry, I thought everyone was going to the Rusty Dragon. So
yeah,
I was going to, and then Jareem
followed me.
I was going to, and then Jareem said he was going to do it, and I said, that sounds like more fun, so I went there.
Okay.
Well,
sorry, I must not have heard you.
Yeah, Cade is the only one who's going to the Rusty Dragon.
Jareem's like, oh wait, she has shit. Let me go see
Cade
what it is. And then you're like, yeah, let me tag along.
And Dino, are you going to Rusty Dragon?
So what do I need to roll to see if I can see the canner?
Whoever is trying to catch it, roll dexterity.
Thank you.
Sorry, I made that chaotic.
That's a nat 19. A natural 19. Yes.
Oh.
But
Wow.
Cat rolled a
Roll
natural
save.
20. So before Urslan can even drop the chest onto the ground, Cat, like, her eyes go wide, seeing Dream just toss this decanter into the air, and she leaps up and catches it.
I'm just gonna be like, can I have the decanter and the lion back, please? And I open the chest for them to put it back in. They're not magical, so put them back. Fucking magic freaks.
Going to gently place it back.
Thank you. And then I look over Dream, who still has my lion statue.
Wait, do I have the lion statue or the egg?
No,
The
no,
lion
Cat has the egg. You have the lion statue. You were detecting
Oh, I
magic
do?
on that. Yeah.
Did I detect magic on that yet?
No, it's also not magical.
Okay. Yeah, this stuff's worthless.
Thank you. Puts it in there. I know.
Big mistake.
I'm gonna continue on my merry way to the place that I could potentially sell these.
All right, so it takes you a few minutes to arrive at the Feathered Serpent. You get there. There is a sign on the door that says the store is closed and will reopen tomorrow morning.
Bummer.
It was a waste of time.
And I go, it's not even that late. It's only 8 p.m. And I start walking back.
It is later than that, but
Oh, whatever. I made a guess.
yeah.
Alright. Cash is gonna go, well, this was a waste of time, and start walking back toward their tavern. The Rusty Dragon.
I mean, we wouldn't really know,
you know where
exactly
I'm
what
from.
time it
It's
was.
open all night.
Because we just came back from an adventure. All we know is it's dark.
It's dark.
As
was
soon as I
like
get to the
looking for my
tavern, I'm
phone,
gonna
but
chow
it's
down
empty.
with Chomper.
Yeah,
I'll
it's
be right back, guys. You got a nosebleed.
okay. Yeah, it's dark, and they're given the time of year. There's a chill in the air. But you all, the rest of you, who decided to make your little side trip to the Feathered Serpent,
Alright, so Cat.
decide to go back to the Rusty
Cat is-
Dragon.
Oh, wait, Cat's a sailor, right?
Cat is a sailor.
Cat can tell what time it is based on the star.
Cat is a pirate. Yeah. It's probably about like
Haha.
10 p.m. Maybe a little later.
Okay.
I was close.
Also, as a point of order, Ursula, I added Pseudo's journal to your inventory because you still
Thank
have
you.
that.
Yeah, I'm still carrying it around.
Yep.
That's a pound? Really?
It was a fairly well-made
got-
hardcover
What a
journal.
heavy ass piece of paper.
It's got like 3 pages we can read.
Well, no, there's the 3 pages in the handout are some of the things that you wrote down. Like, it's also filled with like drawings of what you assume is the person that he's referring to as his love. Various
Oh, I haven't. Yeah.
various drawings of naked women.
Yeah. When we get back to the tavern, which I'm assuming is probably now, is
Yep.
Amiko there?
Ameko is there, although she's kind of looking like she's winding down. She has a drink out for herself. She's still kind of just recovering from earlier in the day.
I'm gonna put my chest in. Well, I'm gonna take the stuff out of the chest and put that in my room, and then I'm gonna bring the chest into Cade's room and drop it on the floor and walk out. It's here. And
Kate's
then-
gonna
yeah.
walk, see you at the top of the stairs and go, "You just thank you," and try to run to their room to be able to put all their shit down.
And then I'm gonna go to Omeko and open up Pseudo's journal and be like, "What the fuck is that?" And point to the naked lady.
You're the most fucked up ever.
So Mako takes the journal from you for a moment, and she reads everything that he wrote first thing, and then she takes a moment, and you could tell there's like a concerned look on her face based on what she's reading, but then she goes to look at the drawings that you've pointed out, and she says, "Well, I guess my brother fancied this woman as being some kind of succubus. Though based on what he wrote, I don't think that's what she is right now. Maybe he's hoping that she turns into one.
Wait, what?
Turns into one.
Wait, so she's not a succubus, but he wants to turn her into. What kind of fucked up? Was your
says-
brother
Wait,
supposed to be on meds?
She says, "Well, yeah, didn't you read what he wrote?"
Well, yeah, but I thought it was just a succubus that he was following along. Maybe I just.
Are
read
we
it
at
wrong.
the Rusty Dragon, or
Yes.
are we?
You are now,
Okay.
yes.
All
The
right.
place that we tried to go into is closed.
Yeah, you got to the Feathered Serpent. There was a sign on the door that said it was closed, and so you all decided to go back to the tavern.
Like, okay, so I'm just talking with Mako. It says she remains obsessed with removing what she calls her celestial taint and replacing it with her mother's grace. What? What? What is celestial taint?
It
Well,
sounds
the
like you need
taint
to go to
is
the
the
library.
area between the.
No, no.
I said that because I
Also
knew
known
I
as
was
the
gonna try
Grundle.
The Grundle? Okay. Let's just call it that from now on.
Oh no.
So this means a trip to the library.
Short circuit.
There's a library, right?
Her new hand is pleased. Maybe
Kay
she
just
is
comes
changing.
sprinting down the stairs,
Maybe
like
she was
actually
beautiful,
sprinting at
but
this
that's
point in
what
time.
she's turning into? Is that what you mean?
Is there a library?
There is a.
Like, ¿dónde está la biblioteca?
There is a library in town. Cade knows that this library has a large collection of old books. It's called the House of Blue Stones, and it's run by. It's more a monastery than a library, but word is that if you're able to convince the owner of your good intentions, she will let you in and peruse the books that she has.
Oh, I'm very good at that. And I look at the party and be like, really? No one's gonna say anything?
Nah.
Yeah, I
Cat
set
takes
you up
a
for that,
long
and
sip
no
of whatever
one.
drink is in front of her.
I set everybody up, and they failed to amuse me.
Cat's gonna sit there and drink what's in front of her. She doesn't know if she ordered it or not. She's not sure what it is, but it is better than responding to that.
I literally gave people the permission to respond, and they didn't.
Fuck you.
What's this lady's name again?
Bethana.
Bethana. All right. I want to ask Ameko and Bethana if they've heard of any legends of any magic items in the relative area.
What is your obsession with that?
I'm sorry, you're
That's
asking.
like- made a
to be
deal with
fair,
someone
magical
and I
items
gotta
are a fair
fulfill it.
thing to get obsessed about.
Guy's making me a spear.
Oh well. Well, when you were in there, not everything that he had was magic. He's not only interested in magic items.
No, he wants
It's a side
interesting
gig.
things.
Right. So you're asking Bethana if she knows where you can find interesting things.
No, magic items.
Oh,
I want
sorry.
to bring him a magic item.
You want to bring a magic item, okay?
Yeah.
She says, "Well, there aren't many shops here in town that sell it's really just the guy that you want to bring the magic items to. Although occasionally we do find some traveling merchants in town that have something that they don't really know the value of. So you might try to wait around and see if one of them shows up, but besides that, I would say keep adventuring and try to find those things on your own.
Thanks for the help.
She says, "Sorry, I couldn't be more of assistance. We are but a humble town here."
Yes, humble indeed.
Humble bumble.
Scathing. Fucking scathing.
Scathing or skeeving?
Scathing.
What define?
Sneezing.
Ameko,
Well, it's not a
Ameko,
rhyming session. I was asking what that means.
Very critical,
Oh, thank you.
scornful kind of deal.
Ameko looks at all of you and says, "So, what did you find after you brought me back here?"
Oh, yes, a fucking Lamastu fucking terror dungeon.
You could have gone about saying that a bit nicer, but
I
yeah,
hate
pretty,
Lamastu.
pretty much that.
Oh, I just remembered because I don't think any one specific person took this. There was the there was the demon's weapon that is sized for a tiny creature. That
Oh, that's mine.
No, I think Kat took that.
I took it.
oh yeah, that's right. No,
So it's mine.
Dino did take it.
Dino.
I mean,
I
it's not
took it. It's mine.
it's not really of any use to anybody in combat, but yeah.
I
Maybe-
disagree.
maybe
a plus
Chomper
6
can
to
take out
damage
one
is
of
still a
teeth.
plus 6 to damage.
Wait, hold on. Maybe Chomper can take out one of his teeth and replace that tooth with that tiny knife.
No.
Hey, it's a plan, and he gets a plus to damage when he bites.
I'll use it as a shuriken, alright? It'll be fine.
No, I don't think it works that way.
I'm sure it will.
Yeah, I mean, it's a thrown weapon. It's got a returning enchantment, so.
It's a boomerang.
So, yeah, anyway, Mako says, "Oh, terror dungeon. Well, do tell."
Oh, well, there's a lava pit that's probably not lava, because, I don't know, God was very confusing about that. And then there's a water pit that's probably water. I almost drowned a demon, and it was pretty fun.
First
yeah, but
of all,
if you still
stop.
fun in it,
First of all, stop blaming me for your dumb decisions.
you
Carry
said
on.
lava-like. And if you spill your blood in either of these two pits, I'm assuming a sin spawn gets spawned. Yeah. That's grammatically correct. Moving on.
Mako sort of like cocks her head to the side and says, "What's a sin spawn?"
In short, weak demon.
A week.
I mean, the thing didn't take hits very well.
The main one took like all the hits. We were drowning
That
it
was
and
an
it still
actual
didn't die.
demon.
No, it wasn't.
You're talking about the Sin Spawn. That's what Ameko asked here. And the Sin Spawn I consider to be weak demons. The thing we fought is an actual demon.
Oh my lord. Sin Spawn are the creation of Lamashdu. She basically creates these little fuckeries of nature, and they cause havoc.
And it can be summarized, once again, by weak
They're not demons!
demon. Close enough.
Are they demons?
They're not demons! Are they demons?
No, they're aberrations.
I want to try and find one of these traveling merchants.
Cade's gonna be so lost looking back and forth between everyone.
Should I would I know what sin spawn are, or is my description enough for a person who doesn't know what sin spawn are?
Well, the main points so far have been ugly creature that that you've
Alright, well,
as
what's
you
the
you've
roll?
described is a creation of Lamash 2, which may or may not be correct. And
Anything that ugly is created by that bitch.
Ameko sort of just like absorbs the information, and she just says, "Okay, got it. Ugly, evil, kill it. Understood."
That's all you need to know.
Sums it up. By the way, are we going back tomorrow or are we doing our own thing?
I guess we could go back tomorrow.
Alright, cool. In that case, I'm heading off to bed. Ciao.
Kate just looks at everyone and goes, I finally, I can move now.
Can I read the rest of my book or part of it? I guess.
Oh, the Undercommon
Yeah.
book.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Linguistics.
yeah. So you can spend some more time during the night reading your book. You pick up some more. You pick up some more
Oh, that reminds me.
knowledge of the language. Yes.
With one of my
Forget what
skill
was
rings,
right
I put a
that I
point
did
into linguistics, and I'm gonna learn Undercommon overnight.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, you can do that. So
Excellent.
Why would
What's
you
an
do that when
uncommon
you can
that the
learn a
things
language
speak?
that someone else doesn't know?
that's so fucking
because
petty,
like
but you can
giant,
do
I don't
that.
know. I don't even know giant.
Hey, Petty, there is a good reason I'm doing this, right?
It's petty, but you can do it.
You don't even know that I'm learning Undercommon, so why would you put a point in to learn Undercommon?
Because I'm not doing it because you know Undercommon. I'm doing this
Why
for
bring
my
it
own
up,
personal
though?
gain.
Okay.
Children.
All right. So Dino goes big brain and knows Undercommon now.
Yes.
Dino has brain?
Sometimes.
Dino very much
Sometimes.
has brain.
Don't
I have a 16 in wisdom. I have a very big brain, goddammit.
don't let the 11 intelligence fool you.
Yeah, just
He
pay
is-
attention to the 16.
Wisdom and intelligence are completely different.
Well,
my dude.
yeah, intelligence is what your language is based on, so nobody should be paying attention to the 16. Dino is slightly
Everyone
smarter
should be
than
paying attention.
Dino is slightly smarter than the average bear.
What's his modifier in intelligence?
It's a +0, but
Since the girl who poked lava. I don't hear shit
Oh,
from you
listen,
about your intelligence.
It'd be really funny if you had to roll linguistics every time to understand Undercommon. I'm just saying.
Well, I don't, because nature bestows upon me all of the knowledge.
I can pistol whip? What? Can I pistol whip Dino? I'm not shooting him.
if you must.
I won't do it, I promise. I was just saying, hypothetically, could I do it?
I'm
Yes,
not saying you should allow it, but it would be
pistol
very
whip is
entertaining.
Pistol whip is one of your deeds that you picked up.
I just saw that in my weapons and attack. Ooh, saucy. If I'm ever pissed at someone, I could just pistol whip them.
Yeah, it's one of your 3rd level deeds that you got. You spend a grit point for. So yeah, Ameko is continuing to look at her half brother's journal. She's like just repeatedly reading the things that he wrote, just trying to pick up any details that that are sort of eluding her. She points to something on the 3rd page. She says, "I wonder who he's referring to. That they burned her father's remains at Thistletop."
Oh, that was the body they stole from the someone help me with the word.
Shrine?
Shrine? grave?
Yes. I'm pretty sure that was the
The
body.
vault,
'cause
yeah, his vault.
It's nowhere to be found.
She says they took Father Tobin's remains? That he did that?
I guess.
Well, wait a
Maybe?
minute.
I don't. Wait.
That doesn't add up. Nualia died in the fire.
Did she? Did you find her remains?
I mean, that was 5 years ago. I certainly didn't go there personally to find them.
Would I recall if there was a female name that in there with a body? Or could I roll to recall? Because I physically don't remember.
I mean, it was only a couple of days ago. You do recall seeing the name there like a plaque with the name on like a smaller vault that was inside the greater sort of family resting place.
I'm going to point out the fact, I'm going to say, I defiled all their graves. There was no body for that name. There was only a little plaque. So I'm assuming she didn't die. So, what was her name?
Nualia.
Yeah, so I'm guessing Nualia is the girl that your brother was fascinated over, and is also the girl who's scheming all this shit.
I just can't believe it. That's just seems impossible. We were all told that she died in the fire.
And I was told my parents love me, but things happen to be lies sometimes.
Mako raises her glass and says amen to that and just downs her drink.
Cade just scrambles for the cup and goes, "You guys had parents."
Had.
At this point, Kat looks up and says, "It's been a long day. I'm gonna head to bed," and she goes upstairs.
I now know who this bitch is.
Ameko says, "Well, if it seemed like you guys said you had unfinished business down underneath my father's shop, but based on what Pseudo wrote here, it seems like after that's taken care of, your next stop is going to be Thistletop. Can't even imagine what awaits in there. That's one of the bigger goblin tribes and their stronghold."
Does anybody sell dynamite? Or large barrels of TNT?
No, what's TNT?
Dynamite in barrel form?
We don't really use dynamite in this town. Typically, if we want to blow something up, we just use magic.
Yeah, well... And as I do that noise, I like point at myself. I'm like, "Do you see a magic being here?" No.
Cade
Well,
laughs.
4 of you can cast magic, so don't be jealous just because you have a firearm.
Cade looks over and goes, "Wait, you have a firearm. Why don't you just make a shit ton of gunpowder and shove that into a cast and roll that in? Bang bang, boom."
I don't want to
Cade
spin
motions
my...
like a gun,
You know-
and then like an explosion.
Oh man, I have an idea, but it would take your chest.
And possibly scheming. And I don't wanna blow up your chest, so I'll find a new one.
We can just take a little crate and make all those crates that you have sitting out back. Just from deliveries. They kind of pile up, don't they? Could we steal some?
She says, "Sure, be my guest. I don't have any use for them right now."
Are they sealed crates, or do they have gaps in them? Like, can I seal them?
I'm sure that you'd be able to seal them with a little bit of work.
Yeah.
Perfect. Oh, I have such a genius plan for the stronghold. Perfect. Should I type my plan to you, Tim, so you can see whether it's feasible?
Sure.
Or do you want to be surprised?
You want to be surprised.
You know what? Yeah, I'd rather be surprised.
Okay.
Let's.
I'll tell it to Allie, because it's good.
I'm down.
Alright, if anyone wants to do it, I guess we could just turn in for the night.
Way ahead of you.
All right, so Ursuline goes up to bed, leaving Kate and Jareem still sitting at the bar.
Cade looks over at Jareem and says, "So, I guess bedtime."
I don't
What
know.
else
I
do
was
we
gonna
do?
see if I could find a traveling merchant, but it might be a little too late at night for that.
Oh, Cade laughs and goes, "Yes." And Sound Point, most likely it is. Even the drug lords tend to go to sleep.
Not if they have
Yeah,
enough
I guess
drugs.
Okay, so you all turn in for the night.
Tweel, tweel, tweel.
Bluey.
You wake up, and it is now Oath Day. As you all come back to consciousness on the following morning, you are greeted by the familiar smell of breakfast being made that you missed the day before due to Ameko's unfortunate whereabouts.
Food.
Those of you who were missing hit points have recovered some or all of them, depending on how much you were missing. And the day is yours. So you proceed downstairs, and Ameko and Bethana are hard at work making breakfast for all of you, as well as themselves. They've learned by this point to make extra because of Chopper, and so they set out large plates piled high with bacon and eggs and potatoes and anything else that you guys desire. They decide they just cook on the spot.
Yes.
Cade excitedly comes down the stairs quickly to the smell of lovely food and goes, "Mako, you are amazing. How are you already cooking? You are the best."
It's
And, and slides into a stool and just starts shoveling food.
She kind of just shrugs and says, I take pride in my inn and making it the best one in town.
Nice.
The mouthful of food, Cade goes, It's the best one. I love it."
She says, she's like, well, I'm still kind of feeling the effects of yesterday, but I'm glad I was able to put all this together for you. And she turns to Bathana and she says, I certainly had a lot of help today. And Bathana just smiles and shrugs it off like it's nothing.
Cool. I'm gonna turn to Kate and be like, "What are we gonna do with the paperweight? Do we just leave it?"
Okay,
Not my concern, to be honest.
I turned to Cade.
Cade just kind of goes, I didn't think about that.
Maybe the sheriff will take care of it when he's back. Imagine the amount of men it's gonna take to lift that. I go back to eating. Disturbing thoughts. Riddled.
Cade.
Mako says, I'm sure that guys like Cracktooth and Vachetti and the sheriff himself and maybe Garrodin over at the White Deer, there's some big burly men. I'm sure they'll be up to the task.
Yeah, but like, what do we do with it? Do we put it on display saying fuckery of parents? Or just throw it in the ocean?
Mako, God damn it. Mako's eyes narrow at your suggestions, and she says, look, my father was a bastard, but he's still my father. Let me handle it.
Okay. I go back to eating.
Amazing.
Kate's just speechless. At this point in time, Kate has no idea how to respond and just kind of looks around at everyone, then completely changes the topic and goes, "Did you even notice that I can move now?"
Yes. The chest has suited you quite well. I say in that exact way.
Oh yeah, so I'm guessing did you indicate like what is in the chest, or
I'm writing that down right now. Obviously before we left the town, because I had to find all the
Anything-
weights for everything in the hunter's kit individually,
Anything
so
that
I
I
could
leave-
then decide what I was leaving.
right? Okay.
Anything you leave, you can put an asterisk next to, and then just make the weight,
Well,
the amount 0.
Yeah, make the quantity 0, like 0 out the quantity for whatever you're putting in the chest, and then yeah, I guess adjust the weight for the kit since that's not all itemized on there.
Yeah, so the kit, I'm literally finding out all the values for every single item and putting that number in, and then saying, okay, what's being put.
Okay.
So
smart.
I apparently have someone, I gave someone, oh yeah, did anyone ever give me my rope back from Sato being tied up with it?
I think he's still tied up with it.
Yeah, you would have to probably go to the garrison and get that back, because
Okay,
Oh
because
shit! I also gotta go there and get my rope.
you guys handed him over tied up with 100 feet of rope.
Which was quite unnecessary.
I still
Maybe.
actually
Add
have
that to
10
the
feet
to-do
of,
list.
I still have a thing of rope actually from my hunter's kit, but my hemp rope is gone.
Yes.
How much does a water skin weigh? I can't find that for some reason. Sorry to derail, but
That's okay.
I've literally tried to find out.
Water skin.
I think it weighs 3.
4
I was close.
4 pounds.
For the thank you. And a holy symbol, a wood holy symbol actually weighs 0. I'll take it.
Let's see. I'm also looking up.
What the fuck? A hunter's kit weighs more than all of its items combined.
Maybe there's a box.
Probably. That's probably what it is.
My kit comes
Wooden
with
boxes
a box
are
as
often
well.
quite heavy.
Not really. They're like 5 pounds.
Yeah, because it's literally 12 pounds under what
Well, maybe it's a
the kit
well-made
weighs.
wooden box.
So can I leave the box that everything's in since it comes with a backpack? These are things I can ask later.
Yeah,
We just
yeah.
I leave everything that is the hunter's kit. So I'm gonna mark that as 0 right now in my room. So that
Okay.
is why I'm running around like a fucking idiot. I
Okay.
have everything else, including the urn. And at this point in time, did we collect the goblin ashes or did we leave those in the furnace?
I think we left them.
Okay, never mind then.
Likely.
I'm not gonna sing I've got a jar of dirt then.
I've got a jar of dirt.
Alright. So yeah, Kate's just running around the end really ecstatic about the fact that they actually aren't over encumbered.
Amidst all the eating and the conversation, Ameko turns to Jareem and she says, "You were looking for, like, weird magic items, right?"
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Well, I took too many hits to the head yesterday, so I didn't really remember. But now it came to me. You should go to the marketplace tomorrow, on Fire Day. Uh, Typically, that's when all of the out of town merchants set up, and you can usually find something exotic or perhaps even magical during those sales.
Thank you.
Alright, so
Just-
after eating breakfast, I'm gonna stretch, get up, and alright, we're still meeting over to the glassworks to go you know where. Meet me there in a couple of minutes. I got a couple places I have to go to. Ciao.
Kat sort of just looks up from her food and gives you a thumbs up.
And off I go.
Um, Mako sort of looks at all of you and she just says, he really likes to go get him.
Giggity.
Who does?
Okay.
I'm sorry.
No, you're good. There's so many things I could have said about Dino just then, considering we found out so many things. So I'm just gonna look at everyone and say, what do now?
Do English. Sorry, I say do common.
I want to go check on my spear. So whoever wants to go to the Feathered Serpent can tag along.
Isn't that
I'm
where
down.
I say? Is that where I sell my things that are not magical?
Yep, possibly.
Alright. I'm gonna go upstairs to my room, gather my decanter and my statue, and then walk off. And be like, come along, Cade.
Come along, Cade. Cade's gonna come along.
Oh, yeah, that reminds me. Where do I go to sell certain things?
We just said.
Well, that's one place that you could sell them. What do you want to sell?
I want to sell the tiara, the sail, and the unholy symbol.
I want to sell the urn.
The tiara would probably also be the feathered serpent.
Oh, and I guess want to summon Morningstar.
The urn would probably be the feathered serpent as well. The Morning Star, you would probably go to Sava's Armory, I would think.
Didn't mean to do that.
The robe could be the feathered serpent, the silk robe, or I mean, depending on where you walk into, maybe you could kind of sell people on it. Yeah, I mean, there you have options.
Would the spirit guide be interested in an unholy symbol?
Maybe. I mean, if there's anyone who might be interested, it could be him, but you'd have to go there and find out, I guess.
Alright, your plans. I'm gonna go there.
Alright.
And since I don't know where that is, I'm just gonna wait for Dream.
Okay. So, after everyone finishes their breakfast, you all go outside to find Dino sitting and waiting.
Well, hello there.
Howdy.
Cade just takes a deep breath and looks out at the sun and winces a little bit and goes, "Nope, still hate that. Hey, Dino."
What's that?
What's that?
That.
Wow.
Alright, Dream, where's the magical spearman?
I pull out my little pole arm and I point in the direction we should go and say, "This way!" And I proudly am wielding my masterwork rancier that I took away. By the way, did that thing have any? Did that? Oh, that's all, folks.
And we get DMCA'd again. No.
Warner Brothers sues us.
Oh no.
I'm sorry I have a stutter, Warner Brothers. You can't hate me for something I can't help.
Watch them.
They've already hit.
You're right.
They've already hit Smite once. I can't bear to have them hit something else that I love.
Fair. I'm sorry. Take it back.
I mean, they deserved it for trying to cheat out the Catwoman.
Hashtag RIP Eliminator Robin. Bring him back.
Rippin' Scorpion.
That's right. So I'm sorry. What were you going to say? Cade. Cade.
What?
Warner
No.
Brothers got her.
Yeah. No. What were you trying to say? Unless.
I
don't even think he knows.
Okay.
Kate blanked completely, and to be honest, I completely blanked in real life, and when I don't remember and tried to remember fast enough, and it didn't work. So here we are, guys.
Are we at the correct place?
Kate's, I don't know. Kate's gonna look at the door and
Well,
see.
yeah. Between all of you, you know, knowing that you walked there last night, and Dream, who's been there.
That's what I was saying.
Yes, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Maybe I just spaced, and that's on me. But yes, you get there without incident. You all walk inside to find the same wild-haired character that Dream talked to the day before. He gets up.
Dream's gonna go, "What's up, man?"
Yeah, he's excited to see
So
see Jareem as well as the rest of you, and he says, "Oh, back so soon. It's so nice to see all of you. What's on your mind? What do you need?"
I brought you some things and stuff.
I brought some stuff to sell.
Things and stuff.
I
I
brought some
As have I.
stuff and things.
things and stuff and things. I love those things. What do you have?
Kay just
Doctor.
slunks the giant morning star out of their back like sling and like smacks it straight down on the counter, not thinking about what it does, and literally just watches it as it embeds like 8 of its teeth just straight into the front of the counter and goes, well, that minus the damages, I guess. And then puts a really fancy urn next to it and goes much more delicately and goes, also that.
He looks at let me move you to the proper.
I'm not there.
Unholy symbol.
You're there.
Oh, I am there.
You're there now.
See,
Hey.
I knew he's gonna buy it.
Well, no, we're doing Cade first, because Cade
I don't
pulled out
care,
her.
there is an
dick first.
unholy symbol over there, so he should be interested in mine.
He looks at down at his counter and he says, well, aside from giving me an interesting story to tell future customers about why my counter looks like this, I'm not really interested in the weapon, but this urn.
Prestidigitation, my dude.
This is not a prestidigitation.
Make it look better.
That would be that would be amending. But
Well,
he's-
Ursula doesn't know this.
you don't. But
She only knows the prestidigitation.
yeah, true. So he says, I mean, yeah, it'll be a nice story, but this urn, where did you find this? This looks ancient.
Honestly, I wouldn't even know how to tell you. Some terrible place filled with terrible things that I'm glad I got out of and saved other people from too. I wouldn't be able to tell you what it is, and I'm sorry, I can't give you more information. Is that a bluff check?
Do I remember where the urn is from?
Yeah, I mean, you all would. You just found it yesterday. Cade seems to not. Cade seems to not want to actually tell him, like, the whole
I'm just
the
gonna
whole
be
truth.
like, I'm gonna look at Cade and be like, that was a better description than I gave at Mako.
I glare over at Ursula and goes, now he knows you told other people what it does. I mean, not what it does, where it's from.
Where it's from. I said it was a better description than what I did.
Well, at any
Blah,
rate,
blah, 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 blah.
he rolled a very high sense motive. So he walks over and he says, "Now, why are you holding back? Maybe I want to see this place. What's the harm? Where'd you find it?"
I'm gonna look at Cade and I'm gonna be like, he's cool, man. Don't worry.
Okay.
Do you like Mamash do? Do you like possibly dying to a fucking creature of hell? If the answers are no to any of these, then you do not want to go where we went.
Cade just slaps their face and goes, I guess this is pretty much a dungeon underneath the ground. And mutters the rest.
Good, because I couldn't understand it anyways.
That was the point.
After the good, I was like, huh?
That was the point. He can find out if he understands or not. We'll find out next time.
He smiles and he says, "All right, keep your secrets."
Yeah.
Did he straight up think I was lying? Can I just look at him like, the fuck?
It's safe to say we met our meme quarter of the session. Very well, good, everyone.
You have to understand how like eccentric this guy is. Like he's just
He doesn't believe me.
he's a fucking wacko. He's like
I turn to Cade and I just go, he doesn't believe me. What do I
I'm gonna-
do?
well he raises his hand and says, well, now maybe I do, but you know, maybe I'd like to see for myself.
Cade just kind of goes, okay, and
Would I be at full hit points since we rested?
can I?
No,
make
I did add
improvements?
to your hit points, but no, you did not recover to full.
Question.
Oh. Everyone
Does
else is-
Cade?
I'm pretty sure if you add blood to the urn, something fun will pop out.
Cade pokes their finger immediately on the Morning Star and plops it in there and goes, nope, just an urn.
He's going to
Slightly
Ruins
bloody
selling
urn.
point.
he is going to detect magic on the urn. Comes up empty. He says, well, now I don't know about adding blood to this and having something happen. There's no magic involved here, but all the same, this is still a nice piece.
Cade
Yeah.
goes, it's yours if you want it. For what, say you, some type of trade, or gold, or things. I can carry things now. I excitedly look back and forth at the people who came with me.
I'm gonna slap my face like a face palm.
He looks at everyone and he says, well, what else do you have? What else have you brought me?
And I'm gonna show him the tiara and the unholy symbol. How about this?
He takes one look at the holy symbol and he says, well, as much as this item might interest me, I don't think it would be wise for me to have this in my shop.
You don't have to show them it, you know. You can just keep it.
Wouldn't want the law finding out.
Cade kind of looks over at Dino and goes, it's a lot more difficult than you think. Has anyone ever noticed the little holy symbol I have?
I'm gonna like squint my eyes as she shows us and be like, no.
Cade shrugs and goes, okay. And then slides my little holy symbol away. Did the innkeep see it? Oh, not the innkeep, the storekeep. And does he know what it is? Hey God,
Rob,
can you
I
hear me?
heard you
Yeah,
talking
I'm
through the wall.
I'm sorry. I had to respond to something real quick that popped up on my phone. Can you just
Oh, no,
repeat
no,
the
you're
last thing you
good.
said?
Yeah, you're good. I just wanted to make sure because I just disconnected and reconnected, so that was more of a hey, can you hear me kind of
Oh,
deal.
okay. Well,
Um,
Yeah, me too. I don't know if anyone heard me.
I heard you through the wall.
Okay, good.
I didn't hear Rob.
I also didn't hear Rob.
I wanted to see if
Well-
I could snatch the little dagger. Oh wait, no, Dino took that. I thought Cat had it. Never mind.
Yeah,
I
no,
mean,
Dino has it.
You could
So-
try. I'll help you.
Oh, what I asked was, did anyone recognize my little holy symbol that I flashed when the guy said it's difficult to keep these things hidden? And
Oh, the
Then-
Abadar one.
yeah, the Azathoth, and if this
Oh,
shop
Azathoth. Sorry.
I even
Yeah.
know
Let
what
me
that
see. Let me
is?
see if he noticed. He's got a good.
Well, that's what
perception. He
that's what
probably
I'm
noticed.
asking is I don't know if anyone else even knows who that is or notices. So that was the whole point of it. It was out of character.
think
That was
I
supposed to be a talking point.
Yeah, that's a
I don't-
21. He notices that you also have a holy symbol, and he says, he catches a glimpse of it, and he says, I've never seen those kind of markings on a holy symbol before.
I go where?
And I say, this is probably the only thing I have that I did definitively tell you was my father's. Which father I don't know, I trail off saying, and then immediately realize what I say and like look at the shopkeep and just kind of be like, Anyway,
At this point,
thanks for selling.
he rubs his hands together with a smile and he says, I can see it on your faces. You have interesting things to show me.
I pull out the decanter and the statue. I was like, what can I get for these?
He sort of studies both of them. He's going to make an appraise check for both items. That is a 23. Takes a look. He's especially interested in the statue. He's like studying that one, kind of holding it, checking the weight. Says, "Oh, solid gold. This is nice. I could think of a few places in here that I could display it. I would give you for the statue and the decanter. How does 125 gold sound?"
Make it 128.
He raises an eyebrow at the the small increase that you're asking for. Go ahead and make a diplomacy check.
Enhanced diplomacy.
Oh, well, if you can make it 128, I could possibly ask for more. So there's a reason. Oh, no.
Don't worry, it's a 9 now.
It's a 9? Okay, it's a 9. Not that does anything.
Yeah,
It does everything.
he looks confused and he says, usually when people try to get more money out of me, they ask for more than just 3 more gold.
Well, I can't just ask you for like 200 gold. That just seems like too much of a raise. I say.
I mean, it's worth a shot, to be honest.
Okay, then
It's
200.
probably not gonna work.
It's solid
but it's
gold.
worth a shot.
I could just melt it down into gold coins, couldn't I, at that point?
Well, you could, but there's probably not enough mass here to make that amount of gold coins. I'm interested in the craftsmanship, the strong artistry that's displayed here.
Okay, how about instead of 200, 150 instead of 125?
Try again, diplomacy.
Enhanced diplomacy.
Woo! It's a 21.
23.
He looks at it, looks at the decanter.
I thought this was just a statue.
No, it's for both.
Oh, okay.
Oh,
sweet. I'm more or less raising the price for the statue because he seems to really want that.
Yeah, like he's also interested in the decanter. Like he took a look at it again. He appraised both of them, but he seems particularly interested in the statue. And he says, "Oh, I just love this statue. This is such a nice piece. Yeah, you can have 150 for both."
Sweet. That is how you take another man's junk and make it treasure. I say as I put the coins away.
Do I still have my what are the I don't remember what drugs I have.
You can just sell the drugs to this guy?
Well, I was gonna give him some.
Well, yeah, you have the old stash of drugs from the Sanish Sharp Sugar. You've got, let's see.
Oh, you know what I could give him? I'm gonna give him some Angel's Trumpet.
Yeah, that.
Yeah.
I'm trying to remember what mushrooms you bought.
need to write this shit down. I know I had the stank ones.
Yeah, you used one of those. I think you bought 3, and you used one of those to make the bombs. So I think you have 2 of those left, and then you also have. Let me go through my list here. You have. You don't have this one, but I just came across a mushroom. It's called jazz cabbage.
Ooh.
On my list.
That's awesome.
You had... Jesus, why can't I find it? Blood cap. I remember you had some of those.
Yep.
I'm actually gonna get off. That's all my things. Hopefully we don't go into a fight.
You had the speak with the dead mushroom.
Oh yeah, that's right.
You had a couple of those. But yeah, if you want to show him those and see if he
Yeah, I'm
wants
gonna
them.
show him the angel's trumpet and the. I'll toss him one of the speak to the dead mushrooms.
Okay. So yeah, you show him your your own particular brand of wares. He looks them over and he says, "You, sir, are quite a devil, but I like my devils."
Yeah, I knew you would.
So,
Hey, Tim,
yes.
I'm gonna get off.
Okay, that's fine. Have a good night.
I'll just follow the group back to the end or whatever they do.
Okay.
Alright, night.
So he looks it over, everything you're presenting to him, and he says, "Yeah, I'll just count this against what you owe for the enchantment."
Cade looks over and sees what exactly Dream's been doing here, and looks over at the shopkeep and holds out the masterwork rincier and says, "Can you tell me if this is?"
I
any
couldn't hear
magic on
anything
it?"
Tim said.
Oh, he said that he's going to count the whatever he feels that these drugs are worth. He's going to count it against what you owe him for the enchantment.
Sure.
Some
How's
Goku's
that,
not also interested
coming,
in
by the way?
Tiara.
He says, "Well, I mean, I'll be honest. You still have a ways to go. I mean, if you had shown me some of these objects that your friends had, that would certainly have gotten you further along."
All right.
So while a good time is nice, and he takes a bump of the angel's trumpet right in front of everybody, he says,
Yeah.
He says, "You know, a good time is nice, but I'm interested in these crazy things that you all are finding."
How about I'm gonna dig around in my pack just for a little bit. I'm gonna pull out the potion of hidden presence.
He says, "Oh, potion, these are fun." And he is going to look it over. He does have spellcraft, so he's going to identify it. And he does. And he says, "Hidden presence. Haven't seen this one in a while. These are always a good time." And I just have to remind myself of what that one costs. Okay. He says, well, if we're counting this against what you owe, then this is going to be significantly more progress towards the goal here. Now we're talking.
And then I'll, like I said, I'm going to toss him a couple of the Talk to the Dead mushrooms just as a gift. He doesn't have to count it against anything. You strike me as a man that likes to speak to the dead.
He says, well, it's been a while, but I dabble.
As do I. So I present you with more talking to the dead shit.
He just smiles and like pockets them. And at this point he sees Dino pulling out the tiara, and he says, "You don't strike me as a princess."
Nah, I found this somewhere. Worth anything?
He takes a look and he says, well, it's well made. It's all of the gems are holding very well in their places. Bit small, but that's okay. We can get around that. This is worth probably, he's gonna appraise it. That's a really good appraise check. He says this is probably worth about 50 gold.
How about 60?
Okay, roll diplomacy.
Second. Enhanced diplomacy, go!
16. Okay. Thinks it over and he says, well, your friend did just give me a gift, so why not? 60 gold.
Alright, you got yourself a deal.
Okay. Is there anything else?
Here's a silk, but I'm not sure if you're gonna be interested in it or not. I give him the black silk.
He says, okay, well, where's the rest of the baby's outfit? You give me a tiara, you give me a tiny silk robe. He says,
Very weird treasure trove, I'm not gonna lie.
He
Well, that's
says,
what I found.
well, I certainly can't wear this, but on the off chance that I get a customer who brings their child in here with them, maybe they'd be interested in this. Who knows? Well, it's made of silk. It's pretty nice. About 25 gold.
Can I make a price check myself to see how much it would be worth?
Sure.
Guidance!
So
Yeah.
13.
Yeah.
You estimate that he's not far off.
Would it be reasonable to think that a legit clothes shop would buy it for more?
Possibly, but you can tell that he kind of has like an eye for like the sort of exotic and weird types of items.
Yeah, that's true.
You think, maybe a legit clothing shop would buy it for more, but they'd probably A, have a hard time selling it, and B, they might try to pry about where it came from, and that might spook them.
Oh shit. Good point. What do you say?
I was saying that they might other more.
No, how much would it be worth?
Well, I don't know. You'd have to go there, but from
No,
your
how much did he ask for it?
oh, sorry. He said he'd give you 25.
Why not?
Okay.
All right.
Okay. So he gives you the gold, 85 in total for the 2 items.
Yes.
At this point, he looks at Cade and he says, "If you wouldn't mind removing that Morning Star from my counter, I'd appreciate it."
I'm gonna go up to him and I'm gonna ask him, say, so is there anything in particular that you seek?
He says, "Well, I have been known to check out the town's market every fire day. There are always some interesting merchants that come in from places like Magnamar and Riddleport and other surrounding towns, and you never know what's going to turn up there. So I've always got my eye on the best deals on every week at the market."
What about any items that are particularly out of reach? You know, like something deep in a temple or something?
He
Cursed
thinks
idol?
he thinks about it, and he says, "Well, my I don't get to do much adventuring myself, running this shop and all, but I hear stories all the time about ancient ruins and things and places that once were around these parts, and I would be interested in any artifacts that you find from places like that."
Awesome. Good to know.
And I'm still working on your spear. Should be about 4 or 5 more days till it's done.
No problem. What do you know that's beyond that north gate wall? Have we gone past the wall yet?
No, you guys have only gone out of the town proper to the south.
That's actually a good question.
I believe I have a map in here
That would be our
somewhere that I can
next
reference.
destination.
I think, is this it? Let's see here. He says, "Well, to the north, there's not a whole lot more land to the north. You're going to be on the coastline at that point. But if you proceed along the coastline over to the east, you'll find places like Shanks Wood and Tickwood, both of those being some small, like, forested areas. There's also some mountains. I think it's called Raven Roost. If you continue even further along, you'll find bigger forests, Nettlewood, Mosswood.
Anyone down for a trip to the forest?
Cade looks around and says, "Actually, yeah, it would be kind of nice to leave the town."
All right, it's settled then.
Cade grins and says, "All right, more adventures." And looks over the shopkeep and goes, "Honestly, you're the first one not weirded out by all of us."
That's quite the feat, I'm not gonna lie.
It really is, Cade says, impressed.
Especially that one over there, and I point to Ursuline.
Oh man, she's not even here to defend herself anymore.
It's perfect.
she goes to like yell back at you, but just doesn't. Just holds her tongue. So she, sorry, the shopkeep, just looks at all of you and says, "Right, well." He turns to Dream, says, "I got to get back to your enchantment. If you need anything, just holler." And he goes off like behind his workbench over here.
Alright, I don't know about everyone else, but I want to get my rope back. What say you, Cade?
Cade kind of looks around and goes, yeah, it might be useful.
Alright, care to show me the way?
Can do, Cade says, and looks at Dream and says, you want, you come too. And then looks back to the shopkeep and says, thank you again. And said, sorry about your counter.
Says, no
I
worries.
cast mending on the counter.
Okay. Dino fixes the counter on the way out.
Thank you, Dino.
Do I have a map for the...
Ta-da!
Can't have you acquiring debt this early in the game.
So you head on back through town to the north, eventually finding yourselves outside of the Sandpoint Garrison once again. As you enter, you are faced with the same jailer that was there yesterday, Vachetti, the bigger guy. And he says, well, sheriff's not back yet, but what can I do for you?
Hey, remember the bastard child that we turned in the other day?
Yeah, he's been quite a handful. Just keeps trying to off himself. What about him?
Yeah, we turned him in with our 2 things of hemp rope. Did we get it back?
He says, yeah, let me go grab it for you. And he walks off, goes down some steps, you assume, to like a lower level where the jails are. Kind of just leaves you there for a few moments. A few minutes pass. He comes back up and he says, man, I really hope Sheriff Hemlock gets back here soon. Found that idiot trying to kill himself again. I don't know why he wants to die so much. Honestly, don't get it.
He can't try to kill himself if he's knocked out.
Because he's not being able to complete the things he wants to do. He feels like an utter failure, and we need to stop him from killing himself, because, one, he should face justice and actual justice and not escapism. And 2, he's got information rattling around in his brain that he should be telling us at some point.
He says to Cade, yeah, I think I followed most of that. And then he turns to Dino and he says, but you were speaking my language. I'll be right back. Here's your rope, by the way. And he hands both of you your rope back. And he goes downstairs. Everyone make a perception check.
Guidance!
Who are you casting guidance on?
Everyone, why not?
Oh, wait, you can do that? Oh, that's dope.
Well, it's a cantrip, so I don't see why not.
Oh, that's
23.
fair, actually.
Yeah, you can do each person like in turn.
24. 16.
Dream of Doja.
Throughout his time downstairs, you hear the sounds of punches and some pained yelling, and then a couple more punches, and then no more yelling.
Oh, no!
Music to my ears.
Cade
And
was like, I could have just. Oh, okay. We could have just made him a
Relax,
friend.
Kay. To be fair, we're not really in the means to interrogate him right now. We'll do that later.
That's fine. That's fine. I'm just saying, don't bash his skull too much, where he forgets the things we're trying to get out of him.
That's not how memory works. All right, don't worry about it.
at this point, he comes back upstairs and he looks at Dino and he says, "You know, I don't get to do that when the sheriff is in town. It felt good."
Really? That's odd, because that's way easier to keep the prisoners in line for no extra cost.
Yeah, but you know,
Dino-
the sheriff doesn't like me brutalizing them before they get to go stand trial.
Yeah,
If you
I
ask me,
can
that's
see
exactly what
why.
you do, okay? He's a murderer, he's working with goblins, and he's a kidnapper. So you ask me, he deserves it.
Way I see
And
it,
even if he didn't deserve it, you should do it anyway.
the way I see it, I'll just tell Sheriff Hemlock that he sustained those injuries trying to hurt himself.
I mean,
Whatever
Cade
works.
size. I guess that works, Cade size.
See that? Violence is always the answer.
Now, did you need anything else or just the rope?
Just a rope. We're not really have the right equipment to interrogate him right now.
Fair enough. I'll come send for you when the sheriff returns.
Alright.
All right, Forrest.
Yes, Force.
And I go to
You're
leave.
just gonna point at everyone and go Forrest. Forrest.
Force.
Not yet.
I
I got two more. I have two more places I have to stop by.
scramble and say, well, Forrest, if we're going Forrest, I should grab my stuff.
Why?
at
So
least
you
the
can move
bedroll and
at
the
2
tent.
miles an hour again?
Not all of the stuff, you jerk.
Eh.
So I sold my Morning Star. So how much was that?
You did not sell your Morning
Still
Star.
be earned.
He didn't want it. He asked
I
you
was
to
about
remove
Oh,
to
it
yeah.
say,
from the
Kay,
counter.
didn't you take a feat just so you can use it?
No,
No.
A Morning Star is a simple weapon. You took a feat for the Ransor.
Oh yeah, big difference.
No, I know that's what I'm saying. So I want to. Sorry, I meant to say I want to sell my Morning Star because he didn't take it. That's also another place I want to go before Forest.
Yeah, so you could do that at Sava's Armory.
Cool.
Is that the place where the person's making Chomper's armor?
I believe so.
Oh, cool. That's where I'm heading next.
Let me double check my notes on that.
Even if it's not done, I gotta make sure how it's going because it's motherfucking T-Rex armor. It's gotta look badass.
It is gonna look badass.
For God's sake, it's called Hell Knight armor.
Yes, it is. It is Sava's Armory. That she is making that armor. So, all right. So we'll go there next.
Alright, I gotta go check on a custom order. You gonna come with?
So you all arrive at the armory. Sava greets you. Man, it sucks that they're not. The other two aren't here for this because it would have been funny. But anyway,
Funny, yes, but not something I would want to deal with while I'm here.
well, the something that I would want to do would be funny. So
I know, you gotta roleplay Urslin, like her recognizing, hey, you have my gun.
yes,
Give
exactly,
it back.
exactly.
But I'd rather that go down while I'm not there.
There's two of you on the map. So you all walk in. Sava says, "Oh, hey, you needed that armor, right?"
Just checking how it's going.
I'm actually just putting the finishing touches on it.
Cade squeeze at
Damn,
this.
that was
and
fast.
smacks Dino. Your stuff's almost ready.
Well, if I'm being honest, I never get to try to make armor for a dinosaur, so I kind of just pushed it to the top of my list.
Awesome.
Now, remind me, I forget. Did you pay for it in advance? I
I
didn't.
did.
You did, okay. So yeah, because I didn't put that in my
did.
notes, and I should have. But
Well, I think it was only fair that I pay her ahead, so so she doesn't make the armor say, "Ha, I'm not actually paying for it."
yeah, you're the only one
I paid
who's
for it ahead.
done that so far. So you, she presents you with the armor. She says, I put some straps on it so you don't have to pull it over his head every time. You can kind of just wrap it around him. And she cut out like
Ooh,
small like holes for Chomper's arms. And she says, "Well, put it on him.
Yes.
Let's see how it looks."
And I go to put it on Chomper.
Chomper's not really sure what you're doing because this isn't something that he's used to. But once you've got it on properly, he seems to settle down.
What do you think, Chomper?
Make a handle animal check, actually.
Oh God. Listen here, Chomper, you're my animal companion. And guidance, because why not? Uh-oh.
Chomper.
Wait, time out. I have a shit ton of bonuses. Just give me a minute.
Well, guidance is a +1. Wild empathy is +3, I think.
And no, +4.
+4, so that's a 12.
And thanks to my Saurian shaman, if I use it with dinosaurs, it's an extra +4.
So 16.
Yes.
Chomper still looks a little confused about why he's now wearing armor, but he does not seem to dislike it and doesn't really try to fight you on it. He's confused but accepting.
Come on, Chomper. This is supposed to make you look awesome, man. Be hyped. And I give him the other half of the salmon.
Well, he happily responds to the salmon, gobbling that right up. Let me add the...
Chomper's AC.
Yeah, let me add that to his sheet. So that is a +3 to his...
My boy has a 22 to his AC. He is invincible.
Yeah. +3 to his AC, a max dex bonus of +5. -1 armor check penalty, but that's negligible.
Worth it.
I do have to look up some rules about natural armor, though, but I'll do that after.
Oh, are you considering if natural armor does anything if he's already wearing armor?
Yeah, that's kind of what I'm getting at, but
I've looked it up before. Actually, in natural armor still takes place.
okay, yeah, I figured it would. I just wanted to confirm that, basically.
Yeah, kind of like my own archetype thing, because if it wasn't, then my +2 to AC wouldn't be very helpful.
This is true. It wouldn't. Okay, so Sava seems happy and pleased that Chomper is taking to this new armor. She says, "Glad you both like it. Now, what else can I do for you?"
Well, well, for one, thank you, because Chomper here approves. Nope, that's about it.
Cade comments on how spiffy Chomper looks and then puts their flail gently on the counter and says, "Can I sell you this?"
She looks at over at the Morning Star and she says, "Yeah, sure, why not? If you know, no sense holding on to a weapon that doesn't suit you anymore." And
I grin and I say, "Thank you."
she looks it over and she says, "Anything I need to know about it?"
I look at her and I say, "No, not that I know. Just standard Morning Star."
All right then. She looks at it and she says, "Well, I mean, it's in great condition. It doesn't look like it's been used very much. So I won't. The value hasn't really depreciated. So how about 8 gold?"
Cade immediately just says, "Okay."
All right. She gets that for you, hands it over, and your your load lightens further.
Hey. Where did my gold go? Did you add the gold?
I did not.
Okay. Oh, I didn't add my share of 20 either from before, so that's 40.
Yeah, I usually
Cool.
wait till I watch back the sessions and to add anything that was missed.
I appreciate it.
I usually do my own
I've
gold.
noticed.
Yeah, no, I know that at least some of you I can trust to like maintain it yourself, but for those
Not me.
yeah, for those who don't, I try to make sure that you guys don't miss out on anything. Sava kind of just looks at all of you, not saying it, but sort of wondering if there's anything else you guys need.
I'll kind of look over at her and I ask her if she can tell if there's anything special about this masterwork Rancier. And like appraise it in general for me.
Okay, sure. Let's see. Does she have a? She does have a stat block. Love to see it. All right. So let's see. Appraise check. That is a 20. So she looks at your Ransor, and she says, "This is really nicely made." I wouldn't have a clue if there's anything magical about it. That's not really my expertise. But, and she pulls out a couple of her own personal weapons from behind her counter just to kind of like compare the quality. You see her grab a short sword and a hand crossbow, and she sort of like just looks at all of them together, and she says, "Yeah, this Ransor is definitely masterwork. This is a very high quality piece." She hands it back to you and she says, "Take good care of it."
I am absolutely delighted upon hearing this and actually having real confirmation on my suspicions, and tell her I absolutely will. Thank you so much. If I ever have issues, can I come to you for repairs?
She says, "Absolutely. I'm one of the only people in town who can do that sort of thing."
I grin and I say thank you, and I look at Dino and I say, "It was a good idea coming here." And I look over at Chomper and
That
I
was.
completely forgetting that they have armor on and going, "Holy shit, that actually looks really cool."
I know, right? Alright, thanks.
Dream, anything you want to take care of here?
I'll I guess I'll look around to see if anything strikes my interest.
Okay. So you sort of browse around. You see various amounts of different weapons. There's a bunch of daggers, one that has a crescent-shaped blade, and something you take note of is the handle is carved to look like an owl that's clutching the handguard. You also see a really nice looking, I believe it's a crossbow was the thing that Ursula was looking at that one time.
Is it just weapons or is there armor?
Well, I was going to get to that actually. There is also on display in one of the cases towards the back. It's like in its own case. This is a set of studded leather armor. The material is green and black colored. The studs look like tiny skulls.
How much for that there armor there?
She says, "Oh, that set of armor is the most prized thing I have in here. It's I won't lie to you, it's very expensive."
What do I need to do to get that armor?
You got thousands of gold.
What else do I need to do to get that armor?
Oh, you must have dealt with the feathered serpent in the past, haven't you?
Maybe.
Yeah, I can tell. That guy takes a lot of non-monetary transactions, if you know what I mean. Unfortunately, I don't really do that here. But potentially if you can find me something that catches my eye as much as that set of armor does, maybe we can trade. Oh my god, the echo.
Okay. Sounds fair. What about that dagger with the owl?
She says, well, that dagger, not quite as valuable as the leather armor, but still very, very valuable. You're welcome to take a look at it if you want.
Sure.
Same for the armor. And she doesn't take them out of the cases, but she opens them up, so that you can inspect however you like.
Let me on the kniff.
Okay. The knife does hit for detect magic. This is the aura doesn't really hit for any particular school of magic, which leads you to believe that it might just be a generic enchantment, but you can always roll spellcraft to know for sure.
Let's find out.
Guidance.
Okay. So while the dagger has elements that are very finely crafted and like seem to be more for like style over function, the enchantment is it's a +2 enchantment, but it's just a basic +2 enchantment. Nothing else about it.
Okay. I'm gonna look at the armor now.
Okay. The armor is definitely an abjuration school, which is usually like defensive magic.
Does God damn it.
You don't
Can I take a
know.
whack at the spellcraft?
Yeah, I would say that Sava's not really trying to hide that it's a magic set of armor, so yeah, you can take a crack at it.
Guidance.
You have a point in it, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So it's 16. Yeah, this is also a +2 enchantment, but this one has the added benefit. It gives you a certain value of spell resistance.
Oh shit. What kind of armor is it?
Studded leather.
Hmm. Interesting. That is all. Hello?
Yes, yeah, I'm here.
Sorry, just making sure because as I told you, Discord
Yeah, I know.
shuts off from me every once in a while.
Discord. Well, all right. With now that you know what they do, Sava says, "Well, now you understand why I value these so highly." And she shuts the cases. I mean, it's glass, so you can still see them, but
Yeah, fair enough.
and she says, "Is there anything else I can help you with?"
Let me see. Those are too expensive. I have my armor. Nah, that's it for me.
All right. Where to next?
Well, last place on my little shopping spree is the herbalist shop.
Oh, pill bugs? Yeah. Got it.
Yep.
Right. So, over at Pillbugs. As you arrive, walking through the gardens to the door of the shop, the man known as Pillbug looks at Dino and says, "You went through all that already?"
Tino.
Hello? Oh, he's talking, but I can't hear him. Let me do this. Okay.
Hello.
Yeah. All right.
Yeah,
We both had to dip and come back in. Okay. All right. So yeah, he says, just to repeat myself, he says, "Well, you went through all that already?"
Surprisingly, yes. And they work they work really well. You got any more?
He says, "Yeah, I've got the same things you bought, or I've got some other things if you want to take a look."
Oh, thank goodness. You wouldn't believe how fast they go through healing stuff.
He looks at Kate and Jareem and just says, "Yeah, I can't imagine."
Kay just kind of
I whisper
sheepishly
to him,
looks.
like so no one else can hear. Not these two, but someone else in my party poked lava and almost died because of it, so I kinda need these pretty badly.
Cade looks over and realizes what Dino's doing and is like, I should probably contribute and buy some as well.
Alright, so the figs and the flowers.
Yeah, the yarrow herb.
The arrow, that's what it's called.
Yep. So let's see. The cost of those. Geez, I'm trying to remember what the costs were. You bought. How much of each was it last time? Was it three figs or?
Oh, the arrow is worth 10 gold, and the figs were worth 5.
Right, but I think you bought like 5 like doses of the arrow. I think it was like 2 gold apiece for those. And then the figs were, yeah, I think he just gave you 3 for 5 or whatever, or because right, you bought 3 figs, or what? Or am I imagining that? Or you bought more of them?
No, I bought 3 yarrow, and
3
I bought
yarrow.
like a whole bunch of figs.
Right. Okay. So. Yeah, that's right. I remember him knocking the price down a bit because you bought so much. All right. So, how much of each do you want to buy?
Let's go 3 each.
3 each. Okay. He puts that together for you, and he says, "Was there anything else you want to look at? I did get a couple new things in today."
Surprise me. Show me what you got.
All right. So the first thing he shows you. To make another possibly obscure reference, he says, "Well, I just got in a basket of elderberries."
I remember.
He says, I don't think you want to eat these yourself. This is more to give to someone else, if you know what I mean."
Interesting. But not my kind of thing. We'll see you got.
He says, well, I've got this, and he pulls out another small bag. This one contains a bunch of thin stalks that end in bright red pods. And he says, just got this flame tongue in.
Interesting. What does it do?
He explains that when one of these pods is applied to a metallic weapon, such as your scimitar or Cade's Ransor, or just any other metal weapon, as though the plant were an oil, the weapon heats and gives off what is essentially like candlelight. And it also deals additional damage for 1 minute. It deals a small amount of additional fire damage.
How much additional fire damage?
Well, given everyone's level, it would be 2 points of fire damage.
Interesting. How much for it?
He says, well, this one's use is a bit more widespread rather than simply just eating it. So to be honest with you, it does tend to cost a little bit more. I usually sell these for 7 gold apiece.
You know what? I'll take 1 pod.
Okay, so he adds that to your bag.
You never be too sure.
The third and final item that he shows you, I just have to find it here. Okay, he he finds another bag. It has some small, thin, almost almost root-like in appearance, in like color. Trying to find like a good picture. Yeah, so these are very, very thin, look like roots. They're kind of brownish, and then they get a little more green towards the tip. He says these are liverworts.
Oh,
He says that
what does it do?
he
Cade
says
looks a little grossed out.
well, you can put one of these next to you in a fight, and it could potentially nullify a spell that's being cast in its area.
So does it like give off the smell naturally, or do I have to like to cut it open in order for it to work or something?
No, you kind of just rub it for a couple seconds and then place it down. For game purposes, it gets placed in any square that you threaten, and it also it's a standard action to do so.
Interesting. How much for it?
He says, "Well, this one probably about 10 gold. The magic herbs, they don't come in all that often. This is one that I like to make sure I make money on."
Fair enough. Also, is this a thing that I can continually use, or is it more like a one and done?
It is a one and done, and the other thing to note is that so to go out of game so I can explain the mechanics here. If any spell is cast where with the liverwort is inside the radius, doesn't matter who's casting it. The caster has to make a concentration check with a DC of, for you, it would be DC of 14. And then regardless of whether or not it actually stops the spell, it gets consumed.
Fair enough. Alright, so that's if a caster casts a spell while I do the thing. But my question is, can I rub it, walk into a spell's effect, and will it get rid of the spell?
I don't think so, judging by what I'm reading here. It's not like a dispel magic effect. It's more of just nullifying something that's being cast, like in the process of being cast.
I'm gonna have to say no.
All right, Pillbug, he shrugs and says, "All right, yeah, that's fine. It's not for everybody." And he looks at everything that you have in your bag, and he sort of totals everything up. You said 3 of the figs and the arrows, correct? I just want to make sure I'm getting that right.
Yep.
Okay, got it. So he does some quick math in his head. He says, all of this, well, since you're a return customer so quickly, let's say 12 gold.
Alright. That is a deal.
Alright, he hands you the bag with a smile. Looks over at Cade and Dream, and as you know, sort of expectantly, wanting to know if they need anything.
Cade just looks and says a few of the healing things too, and that's it.
So he also puts together a bag of figs and yarrow, without the flame tongue in it. He says 6 gold.
Okay.
And also, question. Remind me, how much do your health potions cost?
Oh, they usually go for 50.
I turn to Cade and Dream. You hear that? 50!
Oh.
Now you
Cade
see
just
why I want to preserve health potions.
fine. And figs and we can go over here. Cool.
Yep.
So at least people don't know how to use the perfect time to use a health potion. It's ridiculous. Continue.
Cade
Oh.
looks over and says, I'm sorry, I didn't know.
And you people probably thought I was being great, like, oh, I don't want to share my health potions. No, the problem is they were worth 50 gold.
Well, now I know for next time, and I won't do that to you. It's just, I don't like letting people die.
She was stable. Alright, I'm done.
I was being hysterical. I'm sorry, Cade says, and crosses their arms.
Alright, well, thanks, Billbug. These healing things and these herbs are really gonna do me good. Talk to you later.
He says, looking forward to it.
Cade quickly follows and waves out as they walk out the door.
Alright.
And that is the end of my to-do list.
Cool. Given that we're down 2 people, I'm gonna say that we save the trip to the forest for next week.
Wait, trip to the forest? I thought we were going back to the secret tunnel.
Well, yeah,
or
that. Yeah, I mean, Dream mentioned wanted to go into the forest. But yeah, at any rate,
we'll settle it next time.
Yeah. We'll start with you guys deciding what to do next week. Just because I don't really want to do much more that could potentially progress the plot without 2 people being here.
Fair enough.
Completely understand.
Yeah, understood.
All right, so yeah, good downtime session full of shopping and other shenanigans. Good way to run and cap off our 10th episode. Yay!
Hey.
We'll think of more fake sponsorships in the coming weeks, and as always, we're happy to have you all watching and hanging out with us tonight.
Brought to you by the Warner Brothers. Please don't sue us.
How many people were watching?
Viewers got up to, I think, about 5 or 6. I'll check that off stream and I'll put it in the chat.
Okay.
We're moving on up in the world. Soon we'll get to double digits.
Yeah, eventually we'll get it. I mean, consistency is one of the keys to streaming. The rest is kind of just like dumb luck. But at any rate,
Don't worry, in the next coming month, Crit Roll will have shit on us.
All right, let's not get carried away here. You know, NordVPN.
What did these 10 sessions teach you about us? Going up the deep end is our speciality.
Good night, all. We're ridiculous,
We're
and you'll find a
VP.
sponsor one point or another.
Yeah.
One of them will come out of the woodworks and come to us.
That's right. We just gotta have faith. With that, I'm gonna go eat the rest of my Chinese food. Thank you so much for joining us tonight, and we'll see you next week.
Bye-bye.
Bye, Cub Scouts. See you next week.